What's up, guys? We are in beautiful Southwest Florida in a city called Cape Coral. I'm meeting up with my buddy Rob. He's a developer here in town, and we are going to be looking at a bunch of vacant land to do a bunch of new construction developments where we are going to be building single-family vacation homes on these properties. So stay tuned, check out behind the scenes, and let's hook up with Rob.
See you, Brady.
Yeah, good to see you too, pal. Awesome. All right, so we are doing a YouTube video. I just introduced it. We are going to be looking at a bunch of pieces of property. How many pieces do we got to look at?
We've got 12 to 15 different ones that we can look at today, all Gulf access, saltwater, minutes out to the Gulf of Mexico with the white sand beaches. So it's pretty hard to beat these kind of locations.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so for you that don't know Rob, I met Rob probably maybe 6 months ago, and we've been doing masterminds together. He is one of our inner circle partners that we work with, on a regular basis to help not only educate real estate investors, but we've got some big plans together to develop a bunch of properties here in Cape Coral. And so, Rob, why don't you just introduce yourself? A little bit about your background. Just give us a couple minutes on what you guys actually do here.
Yeah, Robert Knight, CEO of Whitestone Developments. Basically what we're doing here is we've got about 140 single-family homes that we're under construction right now. Some of them are Airbnb. Most of them are actually long-term rentals. We're also got two really exciting multi-family sites that we're doing. We got an Airbnb resort with 48 units, a small marina that we're doing there. Beautiful restaurant, pool, spa, some fun stuff like that. And we've got another multi-family development that we're doing with 152 units. That's pretty exciting as well. Yeah,
that's awesome. And what I really loved about Rob and his company is they don't just do one; they do 140 of them, right? And the thing about this is the scalability. When Rob and I had our initial conversations, I was trying to figure out what he was up to, and what they did really well was figure out what they could do well and scale that thing. They're not into everything, right? They found a niche market they stay in one city, in one general area in this part of town for the most part, right? And they built out a big team that can always bang out a consistent product, right? And from an investor standpoint, that's amazing to be able to find somebody like Rob that you can partner with, because you've got predictable results, right? Which is really what we're looking for. We want to be able to rely on the cost for the land, rely on the cost to build, as well as at the end of the day, the return on the investment, right? So we're going to start looking at a bunch of these pieces of property. We'll start with this one right here. Let's go.
Awesome. There's a lot of complexity in terms of choosing the right lot when you're talking about Airbnb and saltwater. One of the key things you're looking for is the bigger open water view. This one right here, it's an intersecting canal, just like you got intersections in streets. We have so many canals here in Cape Coral, Florida, with 400 miles of canals. You end up with these cool intersections along the canals here. So this one right here is north facing. So the nice thing about this is you're going to get northwestern facing sunsets. So everybody in the Airbnb, we're going to have those pictures of the Airbnb seeing the sunset. That's just huge for filling up the Airbnb. If you're going to sell it, every person who wants to purchase a home is looking for those sunsets. The other thing that we're looking at on here is that if you look at the neighbor, you've got a beautiful modern home right here. It looks to me like it's somewhere in the 4,000 to 6,000 square foot range. So you're also putting yourself right next to a fantastic home.
Yeah, no, that's great. And and I think it's really important when you get into a new market, partnering with people like Rob or local experts, wherever it is, doesn't matter whether it's in Canada or in Utah, but partnering with local experts that actually understand the area and the market, right? That is one big thing that I think I couldn't stress more, is because, again, it just fast tracks your success, and it really mitigates a lot of the risk associated to buying the wrong piece of land that maybe, especially when you're looking at land, there's a lot of risk associated to fraud, right? And so, these people that have done this and do this as the integral part of their business, can mitigate most of that risk for you. So anyway, we're going to, I love this lot. This one's currently listed around 300,000.
Yep, 294.
Right, so we're going to be looking at about 12 other pieces, anywhere from 175 to 300 grand. And our goal here is to buy 10 lots. 10, not 5. 10 lots where we can build a very similar house on each of the lots, all brand new construction. They're about 2,400 square feet. and we're going to do a syndicated deal where we're going to buy all 10 lots. We're going to pool the money to do it. We're going to get the construction financing. We're going to build all 10, and we're going to sell them off individually.
What are 2 to 3 things that you're looking for on these lots as we're checking them out?
You know, every lot's going to have in particulars. We're looking for sure orientation. Which way is the sunset? Because in Florida, you live your life in the backside of your house out on the water rather than from the front of the house. So you're looking for the orientation from the back of your house for sure. You're looking also for canals. How wide is the canal? Makes a big difference in your price. Third, if you're looking at how long does it take from here to get out to the Gulf of Mexico, is another big key key indicator.
Yeah. And bridge height would be another one too, right?
Bridge height is another one. Like some of the lots that we're going to be looking at today, they're going to be what we call sailboat access. So there are no bridges to go under. Those ones right there are going to give us a premium when we sell. This one in particular has one bridge to go through. So I think our breakup is going to be something like 70% of them will have one bridge, and the 30% are going to be real premium that have no bridge at all.
Right on. Yeah, cool. Lot number 1 is pretty nice. I mean, I would totally put a house right beside that big house. Beautiful, large canals. Like all the points that Rob said, you know, are accurate. You know, you've got nice houses across the way. It's developed enough to make it feel homey, which is one of the things. I don't want to be parked in a field. Like, just plunk a house right in the field. But yeah, so let's go off to lot number 2.
So this lot that we're looking at right here, plus side, west facing. So you're going to have the sunsets on this.
Yeah.
Minus side a little bit, the canal is probably only about 80 feet across. So you don't have the bigger bodies of water like we did on that first lot that we looked at. The second one that we looked at, of course, you can look down the canal, so you get bigger open water views. This one here at 219, it's good. Some people, they love the fact that they got that western facing on there, but for me, if I'm looking just across the canal at another house, I don't feel so much like I'm on the water. So that's why we're looking for intersecting canals. Being on saltwater lakes are huge as well, some of those kind of things. And do you want to pay a little bit more on the premium? You may jump up another 50K, but you look at what you get for views, and it's awesome.
Your views and your resale down the road. Like, I mean, if you pay an extra 50 grand on the land and make an extra 150 total, then you're up 100. Like,
exactly
300% return on your investment. Right?
Exactly. So sometimes when you're looking at where to put a little bit more money, to me, you got one opportunity to choose the land.
Yeah,
when you're done, you're done.
Well, you know, when we talk about the basics of real estate investing and like location, location, right? It's one of the fundamentals that you have to consider, and it can change the game. And well, part of your story too, Rob, when you first got into Cape Coral, you were telling us, so you bought these spots and these locations, and remember you're flipping them or something?
The first house I ever bought here, I bought right next to a busy road. I lost $40,000 on the investment, and it was just, I overvalued what it was. I was brand new here. The guy that sold it to me, you know, wholesaled it to me and told me I was going to do great. And you know what? You get some surprises if you don't get location right.
Yeah, because that location is a busy road, near a corner, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And like, you don't know the value, or like the buyers here don't want that, right? Like, there's so much land here that, or so many good locations that aren't busy, that why would you ever pick a corner location, right? And when you don't know, you don't know. And again, that's one of the reasons why, you know, understanding the fundamentals of real estate investing, but then also, you know, if you go into another area, I've already said this, I'll beat the dead horse, is like, make sure that you're partnering with somebody that actually knows, because wholesalers will sell you, right? So you got to be working with somebody that you can trust, and, you know, also has your best interest in mind, and not just, you know, just getting the deal done. So one thing I'm always personally looking at, because I'm a big boater, is like, what size of boats are in here. Okay, so I'm looking at these boats. They're very similar length and height, and for me, that's one thing I'm always looking at, because I want to know, okay, what can I actually get in here? What size boat can I get in here?
Can I get my 50-footer in there?
Yeah, exactly. Or if I'm going to have a center console, how long is it have to be? Can it have a hard top? Does it have to have a bimini top that has to be reduced, or, you know, like removed or whatever? Anyway, just another tidbit for those boaters out there. So Rob, what is the confidence in the investors that you've been talking to recently and dealing with, you know, with associated to like the market and what's going on? You know, are they apprehensive, or are they, you know, they're still proceeding?
You know, I think the investors who really understand what's going on right now with inflation, and they also understand Florida and Cape Coral in particular, they understand that we have a lot of insulation to some of the market drops that we're probably going to be seeing around the country, just because of the number of people moving into the area. So we've got a real massive number of people moving out of these blue states into the red states, and that gives us quite a bit of protection. That being said, there certainly has been a tiny bit of softening that we've seen in the market, but when we go out there, rentals are there's nothing out there. In terms of inventory for sale, there's nothing out there. We're going to take a left here. We're under 2 months right now in terms of inventory in the market. So healthy market's 6 months. We're at 2 months, so we're still really tight inventory. So I don't think we're going to see a big drop. I think we're going to see a softening in the market here, and we've seen some already. But what it's doing is it's creating some opportunities, like we are going out right now, to be able to buy some of these lots at a cheaper price than we would have got before.
Right. Yeah. I just keep thinking too, the time of the year is a big factor right now too. Like, there's nobody here.
Right.
Right. Like, I mean, the people that were buying all winter and driving the market and crazy were cash buyers that are.
This is a great time to buy. It's we in the United States, where we normally think summertime is a great time to to purchase in other places, but this is our down market. You're right. So this one right here, you're looking at 220. You got a nice house across there with a little tiki hut and a pool, and a nice boat out there. So kind of a wide canal, west facing. So, but since it's sailboat access at this price, I think it's a real winner.
Yeah. No, I like it. This particular one is what I see in the neighborhood is that, they're smaller houses, right? So then if we're going to build a bigger, nicer one, some of the stuff over here might be a little bit bigger, then, the bigger, nicer ones are going to want to look at other bigger, nicer ones. Like if we're going to build one.
Well, one of the other things we look at here, if you see the roof on here, those are shingle roofs.
Yeah.
Like I know in our pricing, we're importing Spanish tile from Spain. It's really nice, high quality stuff. So it'll stand out over these a lot. These are some nice homes, but spec homes that are being built with shingle on it. So they're trying to economize a bit more than what we're looking at.
Yeah. So the other big thing here is just the width of the canal. Is what I see. It's small. The houses across the way don't have boats. Personally, I want to see
you want to see some nice boats.
I want to see some action. I want to see that the neighborhood is going to have some some money to it, or some some wealth behind it, because obviously that just brings a better sense of community. It just depends. Like the people that we got to think about, the people who are the people that are going to buy these. What are they going to feel? What are they going to want to see? Right? And these are just some of the things that I want.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we just finished up. How many properties did we look at, Rob?
12.
12?
Yep.
So 12 ranging from, like we said, 179,000 to 3 and change.
314 was the highest one. Yeah.
Right, and there was a lot of. So we saw like small canals. We saw some intersecting canals, some larger canals, and there's a wide range of feel on and how you feel when you go to these sites. So for me, I learned a lot in what I thought we were going to do and how we were going to underwrite and analyze all these deals to what I think we need to do now is slightly changed. I think we're going to, instead of, because each lot I think is going to sell, in a varying range. It could be from 1.2 million to 1.8 million, right, depending on the lot we pick.
Yep.
So I think we need to get really clear and start picking out a lot at a time, and then underwrite that lot, because it's not like there's subdivision lots. Like every lot here was different. It had different bonuses, like good things and bad things, right? So I think it's time to get to work and just kind of like peel another layer off the onion and start taking action, get some of these tied up.
Awesome deal.
Right on. So thanks again, Rob. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, right on.